And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. We've got a little show lined up. We got some Seals Q in there. There's a commentator. There's an article on Seals Q. Can it accomplish? Oh, I think it can. If these articles, these people that write these articles, they have no idea who's backing Seals Q and the crypto companies that are behind it. They have no idea. What they look at is what a lot of people do, and they look at crypto. Why is it not up today? I got one dumbass that leaves a comment, which I blocked the person. You need to make just 3 to 4 minute videos so people can watch them. I can't watch for an hour. You know what that means? I don't want to invest in myself. I'd rather spend 2 hours a day watching all kinds of dumb shit, little bits of dumb shit, than spend an hour learning how to secure my future. I need to make 3 minutes. What the fuck am I going to be able to teach in 4 minutes? That shit ain't going to happen. These are the same people. These are the ones I'm telling you about. Today, tomorrow. Today, tomorrow. I want to buy it today, sell it tomorrow. Buy it today, sell it tomorrow. That's all it's in their mentality. I could just make a video and say the coin is this, and then they're going to forget tomorrow anyway. A week from now, they'll be like, they won't even think this, but a week from now, they're like, why did I buy that one again? They have no idea. You have to understand, the attention span of a goldfish. This is about learning. The biggest revolution is occurring the world has ever seen. And these people want a 3-minute video. I'm like, see that they don't get it. And then again, a week, 2 weeks from now, they have no idea about a particular crypto because they never studied to learn it. All they want to know is what's the name of it. And if it doesn't go up in an hour, oh shit, let me sell out. What? What are you doing? I could talk about the biggest cryptos in the world. They don't want to watch any of it. They just want to know the name of it. And 2 weeks later, they've completely forgotten what it is. They sell it off and try to look for something else. They're thinking that if they spend 3 minutes watching my show, that's going to help them be rich. And that I'm just like, what? You have to learn to invest in your future. Invest your time, your energy. You have to invest for your future. By just hearing about a particular crypto. So what the fuck is that going to do? You're not understanding the big picture on what's going on in the globe. You're not understanding what a crypto does, what companies are involved. You have to know all these things. It's almost like they just want the name of a crypto and that's it. And buy, like, how... And then it doesn't go up and they sell it off. You just got rid of the most important crypto because you didn't make money in 5 minutes. I'm like, whoa. And that's what these people do. They have no, that's why they get onto BitBoys or scam channels, because they don't have the knowledge. They don't spend the time to learn on the connection. They don't know. They might watch. Okay, then they also might watch a show for an hour every whatever it is, whenever this person makes a video or something. But they're not rational thinking people to begin with. So the scams and the channels that say, oh, XRP is going to hit $100 by January 1st, like all these scam channels that say that dumb shit like that, they got people that don't have their faculties in their head are not rational. These are people that don't want to work. They just want the answer. And even when you give them the answer, they don't know what to do with it. So 5 minutes later, they sell it off because it didn't go up. So it doesn't matter if they even watch the show or not. They're still going to fail. No matter what, they're still going to fail. That's how it goes. I only have 3 minutes. Let's talk about the Bankers meme coin. Oh, my God. The Bankers meme coin. Oh, my God. That dude. Yeah, I just don't understand. This XRP, it's like some kind of banker's meme coin. Like, that dude is a straight up liar. He is totally lying, okay? All right. My name's Crypto Hawk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor. None of the above. I don't know anything about crypto. I don't know anything about financial advice. I don't know anything. What I do know is hardcore drug use every day. Heroin, cocaine, opium, peyote, LSD, Demerol, any kind of drug. Date rape drugs are my favorite. Makes learning fun. So, yeah, any kind of information you've heard from me is heavily medicated. Okay. Winners stay high 24/7. Oh, my God. Let's get into this thing right here. Here's one of the reasons why crypto is slowed down. Let me show you. There's a lot of Crypto Hawk. Why aren't we rich yet? Okay, well, you got to start watching my program, number one. But let's look right here. Here's a perfect example of why we're not rich yet. And there's a bunch of reasons. Let me, right here. Community banks sound the alarm on yield-bearing stablecoin loophole ingenious. Let me read this article to you. It's very short. The American bankers, this says it all right here. This is why the American Bankers Association revived an ongoing argument over the treatment of yield-generating stablecoins. Bankers say closing gaps in stablecoin law over the summer is critical because it could impact local banks' ability to lend money as banks use deposits to provide loans to their community. A group of community bankers is pressing lawmakers to change the law. That's what they want, the lawmakers. See, we passed the Genius Act, and now the bankers want to take something away out of the law. A group of community bankers is pressing lawmakers to draw clear boundaries for yield-generating stablecoins, arguing that a lack of clear limits could draw deposits away from local banks and disadvantage small businesses and households. In a letter this week, now I'm going to show you how much dumb shit this is. In a letter this week to U.S. Senate, the American Bankers Association Community Bankers Council revived an ongoing argument over the treatment of yield-bearing stablecoins. They say that gaps need to be closed in a stable bill that was passed over this summer of 2025. It was nicknamed the Genius Act, that could allow cryptocurrency firms to offer rewards from yield-bearing programs to stablecoin holders. Bankers say closing those gaps is critical because it could impact local banks' ability to lend money as banks use deposit to provide loans to their communities. If billions are displaced from community lending, small businesses, farmers, students, and home buyers in towns like ours will suffer. Banks in the crypto industry have been at odds this year on stablecoin yield treatment. Banking associations have said that the stablecoin law passed over the summer has weak prohibitions against stablecoin issuing interest to holders, which could make those assets more attractive as stores of value. In an email addressed to bank CEOs, said the loophole could mean that trillions of dollars are diverted away from banks. Lawmakers need to understand the very real risk to local communities in their state if they allow loophole to be exploited. Meanwhile, in a letter sent to lawmakers last month, the Blockchain Association argued that not allowing platforms to offer rewards could weaken competition across payments. Okay, here's what we got. The banks are in business to make money, not to help us. No. But they got to realize if they mess with people, see here, it's just like this platform, YouTube. Okay, here's the deal. It's like YouTube. YouTube fucks around with me. They have since day one. YouTube shadow bans this channel. People aren't notified of my videos, on and on and on. People lose their memberships by YouTube. And YouTube does this because it doesn't have competition. Now, if another platform comes out where they don't do that shit to people, people are going to leave YouTube and go to that other channel, that other platform. So YouTube kind of does shit because they know no one's leaving. This is the same thing with the banks. The banks rip us off. They invest the money that's in the bank accounts. If you have enough of it, you can't get all your money. See, part of the problem is the money you put in the bank, they don't really keep there. They lend it out to other people. So it's not in the bank. See, banks used to keep money in the vault, how they should. But banks don't do that anymore because they fractionally reserve lend. So banks don't technically hold barely any money anymore. You used to be able to, heard of bank robbers and shit. Well, nowadays there's really no more money in the banks. There's like barely anything in there. There used to be days when banks would have gobs of money, millions and millions in the vaults and shit. Not anymore. That's done. They do a thing called fractional reserve lending. So there's really no money in the bank. They're like, with Caleb Brown, sponsored my channel. I mean, the affiliate in my channel. I'm the affiliate to them. They're custodians. So your crypto is sitting in Caleb Brown. They're not off lending it and staking it like all these other platforms, right? If something were to happen with these other platforms doing all this stuff, you're kind of in a problem. And Caleb Brown, they're custodians. They're not lending. Your crypto is locked up in Fireblocks, and it's sitting in there protected. That's what happens at Caleb Brown. That's why I like it. These other platforms, they loan it out. What if everybody can't pay their loans? Oh, shit, and you lose it, don't you? Yeah, you do. These other platforms that say, oh, take a loan out on your XRP. And everybody's taking loans. What happens if a XRP dumps to $1 and they say, oh, we're going to make a margin call. You got to give us a certain amount of money. If you don't have it, they take your crypto. So all these dumb shits are watching these crypto influencers and they want to take a non-interest loan on their XRP and shit. What happens if XRP dumps? I'm just asking. If XRP dumps, you better be able to come up with a certain amount of money to cover that call. They might call you on the telly, on the celly, and say, hey, XRP's at 75 cents. There's been a market crash. You got to be able to come up with X amount of dollars. Well, you don't have it because you were off spending your loan from your XRP. You're fucked. You just lost it all. Yeah, that's how this ends up badly. So with these banks, they're against stable coins that give yield. So here's the deal. What the banks are mad at is because there's going to be something called DeFi where I can go to not a bank. See, this is what happens. When banks fuck people over for too many years, now a new technology comes up. Oh, shit. It's called crypto. And there's a thing called DeFi. And guess what? Banks are facing competition. Guess what YouTube would face if another platform opened up? Competition. Oh, shit. YouTube would go bankrupt because half the customers would leave right away because YouTube's such a fucked up platform. So if YouTube had another competition, you're going to see drastic changes at YouTube because they'll be like, oh shit, we can't shit on everybody anymore. We actually have to treat people with respect. That's what's happening with the banks. That's why this crypto hasn't taken off. Now, how do all these Congress people get elected? By the banks. Oh. See why it's taken so long? One of the reasons why. This is just one reason. So you've got these banks. They take our money. They invest it. And they give us like 0.25%. Like, wow. They make millions and billions off our money, and they only give us like 0.25% a year when they're making all this money. See, that's the problem. And then when a technology like a stable coin or something of yield comes out, then they want to protest that, saying no, why don't the banks pay what the stable coin pays? Now we're on to something, Crypto Hulk, right? Stable coins paying 5% a year. Okay, banks start paying 5% a year. People are going to go where they're respected. Okay. These banks, we didn't have this technology before. Now we have this technology. Now the banks are fucked. They have to copycat what this crypto's doing, or they're going to lose out. And no, if the banks close, this is called DeFi. See, banks is called centralized lending, where the bank holds all the money and they lend it out. What we're moving towards is a decentralized lending platform where all of us, we stake a crypto somewhere one day when it's safe, where we stake it, then we become the banks. We earn money off our money. See, the banks don't want to give a shit. They want us to put our money in their institution, and they claim then they lend it to us and people. They can still do that with stable coins. And the banks are like, oh no, because everybody want to put money in stable coins. Why does everybody want to put money in stable coins? Banks. This is a question for the banks, not you guys. Why does everybody want to put money into DeFi lending? Because we make money on it. The banks don't. Now, the banks could charge interest, like if DeFi lending has lower interest rates. Like I remember when credit card interest rates used to be like 16% and shit like that growing up. When I got my first credit cards, I don't know, in the 90s. I remember credit cards was like 16, 17% or whatever, 18. Now this fucking shit's like 26, 28%. I'm like, what? This is what I'm saying. Oh, wait, JDMA just has 90 seconds to listen. He only has a minute and a half to learn everything. Then he's on to the next channel, the next one. Trump announced a cap. He can announce whatever. It's the court system will determine whether it's legal or not. Banks take your money and invest overnight outside the U.S., then return it in the morning. Banks pay 0.01% interest. But I wanted to read off that article. That's what's going on. So that's the problem right there. These banks don't want to pay interest like the stablecoins do. See, the stablecoins pay interest to us. The banks don't want us to pay, don't want to pay interest to us. That's the problem. There's still community banks out there. They just want to be able to charge us super high rates. Banks don't want to pay us interest rates. They want to keep it all to themselves. That's the problem right there. banks, then why don't the banks operate like, if the banks see stable coins is taking the, see, they don't want to talk about this stuff. Stable coins, the banks claim, are going to take the money out of the banks. Okay, why? The banks will claim people pay it, it'll pay interest. Okay, well then why don't the banks pay interest? There you go, right there. You can't afford to lose 4%. The banks can't afford to lose 4%. Is that what's going on? Or 5%, whatever it is. All the banks got to do is copy the stable coins, do the same thing stable coins are doing. That's called competition. Banks can't have competition because they want to make all the money. That's how all these things work. Competition destroys fucked up businesses. For instance, when COVID hit and the economy right now, businesses that don't make, okay, look, you know how expensive it is to go out to eat, right? Okay. If you have an opportunity and you know for two people, at least around Sacramento, Northern California, I'm not talking about Southern California where everything's super expensive, but two people, a nice dinner, nothing Trump rich or nothing, but just a nice dinner. You're looking at around per person, $45 a person. So you're looking at a bill, maybe $100 for dinner. You know, nothing shitty, nothing glamorous, just kind of something nice. Not really nice, but just something nice, you know? It'd be like $45 a person at least. Now, are you going to go to a shitty restaurant and pay $45? Or are you gonna think of a restaurant that you know where you get really good food, it's good quality, the waiters and waitresses speak English, you know, in America, that's the language of America is English. It's what our Constitution's written in. You're supposed to come to America and learn English. That's the whole goal. That's what the melting pot and rugged individualism and all. It's to be an American, like I want to be. And that was the intention. But these people have bastardized it. These communists running the country. But when you go to eat at a restaurant, you want the best food, the best quality, waiters and waitresses that are smart, that know how to communicate, that have personalities and shit. These are things that I expect. And I won't go to like a place I'm going to pay $45 a person, get small portions, bad food. This is the same thing with banks. We have a choice now. We can go to the bank, which is like, you know, you get the fucked up waiters and waitresses. They don't know what's in the food. They don't even like working there. You know, they just show up because they have to. That's the banks. And then the crypto is like you're new and improved. And the banks don't want it new and improved. Now, the banks, if they can control the crypto, here we go again. Then all of a sudden, stable coins will be good. If the banks control it all, then it'll be good. All of a sudden. Because they'll say, yeah, now we have more investor protection. And now they said that with the crypto. All this crypto shit's bad until the government gets control, then they get to tax it. And they say, okay, now stable coins are good. Now crypto's good. See how all this works? That's a damn shame. Let me check some comments and we'll go to the main event. Japan has a 20% tax. I saw that. Let's look here. It's no longer 50%. It's 20%. Damn, can we get a little lube? Oh my God. All right, here's the article. Here's this article here. The crypto of today's show is called Linnea. And I'm going to show you here. Linnea it was talked about by Joseph Lubin. He's in cahoots with Consensus. He's partnerships with Ethereum. He knows people in the three-letter agency and all these things. He's very well connected. He's the one that said that Consensus is working with Swift, and Linnea is allegedly to be the crypto that Swift's going to work with. Whether it is or not, which I strongly believe it is. Just like any crypto, it's always a risk. They can come out last minute and say, now we decided not to use it. So what I did is got a good position in Linnea, Linea. Caleb Brown does carry Linnea. So I'm not going to give you the contract code because you don't need it, Caleb Brown. You can buy Linnea at Caleb Brown. Look, all these cryptos are speculative. The whole crypto space is speculative. There's no guarantee about any of this stuff. So it's buyers beware. What we try to do is learn as much as we can. You don't have to invest in anything. You just watch the show, or you don't even have to watch the show. But it's like if people invest in things, there's no guarantees. You can buy it. Maybe it's really popcorn coin that's going to win. I don't know. So what you have to do is see how much you're willing to risk. Can you afford to invest in any of these cryptos and walk away from it and have a normal life afterwards? If you can't, you shouldn't be investing at all in the first place. We're all adults here, 18 and up, so I shouldn't have to give you the pep talk, the Crypto Hulk pep talk. But I like the pep talks, Crypto Hulk. It makes me feel protected. Yeah, like that fucking diaper you're wearing. So let's look right here at the title of this article. Ethereum treasury firm SharpLink stakes $170 million worth of Ethereum on Linnea. So now this is interesting. This company is putting $170 million of Ethereum on Linnea to stake it. Let's keep digging here. On Ethereum layer 2 scaling network Linnea. SharpLink Gaming staked $170 million worth of Ethereum on Ethereum layer 2 network Linnea. In October, the firm announced its intentions to stake up to $200 million on Linnea to earn higher adjusted yields. Shares of the SharpLink company, it's a gaming company, went up 1.4% on Thursday, but remained down nearly 37% in the past 6 months. Publicly traded Ethereum treasury firm SharpLink Gaming has deployed $170 million. Why do they keep copying this shit? The Minneapolis-based firm said it would stake up to $200 million as part of a multi-year effort on the network as a way to optimize on-chain yields for its Ethereum's holding. Now, this is why I'm reading this article. This part right here, this is very interesting because this has never happened before. And what I want to show you is this is going to be a trend. This deal that they're doing right now allowed SharpLink to generate additional yield. Are you hearing me? Double dipping for the first time ever. Okay. Here's how it's done. This deal that SharpLink just did to put it on Linnea to stake it, this deal allowed SharpLink to generate additional yield in excess of its current staking rewards. So it's kind of like double staking. Are you seeing this? Because this has never happened before. While pushing the industry to embrace institutional grade DeFi. Oh, so it appears that they're staking it, and then they're now trying to give it institutional DeFi to make a second double dip. See that? A company deploying into what's known as liquid staking. Oh, a public company deploying into liquid staking, then bridging. All without leaving a qualified custodian. This was multiple industry firsts. This is the first time this has ever happened, okay? This was multiple industry firsts. It's a milestone on our journey to make our treasury the most productive exposure to Ethereum. Stockholders were privy to gain around 1.4% on Thursday of shares of this. It costs $10, $10.28 per share. As the second largest publicly traded Ethereum treasury firm, SharpLink maintains a treasury of 864,000 Ethereums, valued at $2.7 billion. Oh my God. All of which is staked via its custodians. With its recent deployment on Linea, listen to this, it will gain restaking awards. This is how this has never happened before. This is why it's a multiple industry first. It will gain restaking rewards from EIGEN Cloud, EIGEN Cloud, as well as incentives from EtherFi and Linea, in addition to native Ethereum staking yield. So they're making money because they're staking Ethereum, and then they restake it. This is the first time this has ever happened. And this is institution. This is what the institutions are going to be doing. They're not taking their crypto out of their cold storage and risking it somewhere like you are, okay? This is institutional where it stays where it's at. That's why this is a big deal. Though the firm would not disclose incentives on a deal-by-deal basis, Sheffield told Decrypt that the firm needs to do many more deals of this nature, accretive to our stockholders as we earn the excess DeFi yields. Now, I want you to see something. Notice how these big businesses, they can do DeFi, but the banks get all mad when we try to do that. See what I'm saying? This is like a total fuck job. That's what I'm saying. Why these banks, they can do this and they can do that, and they shut this down for us and shut that down for us and shut that down for us, but they can do all this. And they can do staking and double staking, but we can't. Because somehow we're going to wreck the system. So, because we're going to fuck everything up because the banks won't have money to loan to us, but they can do it. Oh, it's okay for them to do it. See what I'm saying? Okay, let's keep going. In September, SharpLink, Joseph Shalom is his name, told Decrypt that it is important for the firm to drive real-world activity to Ethereum-aligned products like Linea, given its interest in Ethereum's success. But SharpLink is also a member of the Linea Consortium, a group of firms that help manage the distribution of Linea token. It also maintains another connection to Linea via Chairman Joseph Lubin, who co-founded Ethereum and is both the founder and CEO of Consensus, the software development firm that incubated Linea Layer 2 network. Let's see. I think I will wrap up that article right there. Let me get some comments on that one. bastards. 100 greedy little fuckers. Hulk Linnea cannot be traded in your region due to local regulations on crack, and this asset cannot be traded in the United States of America. You can withdraw your balance at any time. Where is all the yield money coming from when you stake it? It sounds odd. So, as far as trading, I'm not trading at all. That's why I have my stuff in Caleb and Brown. Caleb Brown has Linnea, Canton Coin, and these other ones. And that's why I have Caleb Brown, because it's locked up. Now, one day, look, I don't really see them, whoever them are running everything, allowing us to do what they do. So, there's a battle. And that's why all this shit's taking so long. It's them trying to fight us so we can't do what they do. Does that make sense? So they try to jam everything up. You got the Congress people. Some of them are like totally bribed by these banks. And the Congress people that aren't bribed by the banks, they're bribed by somebody else, okay? So not all the Congress people are bribed by the banks. Some are bribed by the banks. Some are bribed by power companies, whatever it might be. They're all bribed, but they're bribed by different people fighting. So that's what we got going. We need to pool all our crypto and create our own bank. Yes. That's what I've said before. One day, see, like I told you, you're going to be a bank. That's why we have the Caleb and Brown. You're going to be a competition of the bank. That's what I've been telling you guys this whole time. When you get crypto, you're going to be a competition of the bank. Do you think the banks want you to be competitive to them? No. So they bribe the Congress people to try to get you out of your crypto. That's why we have Caleb Brown to protect it, number one. The number two, maybe there is a day where we form some kind of a staking pool, we form a staking pool inside of a savings and loan. Now we become one of the banks. That's how the shit works, okay? So then everybody has their money in this savings and loan type deal. Then we can double dip and do the extra staking and all that shit. But let's try to get XRP past $2 first. Then maybe we can talk about this later. How about that? Seals Q. Here we go. It's in the news again. Let's see what Yahoo Finance has to say. Now, for the new people, where's all the money coming from when you stake? It sounds odd. They give people loans. Just like a bank. You put your money in the bank, right? So you want to get a car loan, right? That's where your money goes. So I need a car loan. So I go to Rolls-Royce to go buy a $1 million car, and the bank loans me money. It's the money you put in. See, when you put money in your bank account, that's called staking, but you don't get anything from the bank. Get it? So this is fucked up. I have to laugh because otherwise it'd be too depressing. Reaction formation. So I go put my money in the bank, which is called staking, and I should earn a reward on it, but I don't because the bank takes it all. Then somebody else comes in. They want to buy a car. So the bank takes my money and my interest. Well, they give me like this much. Can you see that? They give me like that much. And then they give my money and my interest to help pay for that person to get a loan. And then that other person pays the bank back. You understand the concept. So that's kind of where the money goes with staking. SEALSQ. For brand new people, let me show you this. What is SEALSQ? It's a stock. It's a technology company. It's a Ripple partner, Hedera partner. It's massive. It's like about what, $4 per share? Let's look at the NASDAQ. Here's SEALSQ. If you're interested, this is a lot of people on the Crypto Hawk channel like this particular stock, myself included. What SEALSQ is doing is creating quantum proof microchips that stop quantum computer hacks. Can SEALSQ post-quantum push redefine cybersecurity edge for investors? There's a company called Cantor Fitzgerald. Cantor Fitzgerald recently initiated coverage on SEALSQ, highlighting the company's work on post-quantum security hardware and software and its plan to use silicon and CMOS compatible processes for scalable quantum systems. We'll now examine, okay, what is SEALSQ investment narrative? To own SEALSQ, you really have to believe in its niche, hardware-based post-quantum security as a core for future IoT, automotive, and space systems. The Cantor Fitzgerald initiation helps validate that thesis publicly, but by itself, it may not change the near-term fundamentals. The immediate catalysts still look tied to how quickly products like QS7001 and the QVault convert that $48 million pipeline into booked revenue, and whether management can do that without further heavy dilution. At the same time, the key risks remain very clear. SEALSQ is unprofitable, has seen losses widen over 5 years. The share price has fallen sharply over 12 months, and the valuation already screens expensive on price to book, all in a highly volatile stock. So now what we're doing is we're looking at an opposite viewpoint. You know, when you look at a stock, you have to look at the good and the bad. And this is who wrote this? I think Simply Wall Street, possibly. But this is somebody who is looking at SEALSQ from their perspective. 21 fair views from Simply Wall Street community span roughly set against SEALSQ's ongoing losses and share price volatility. That spread underlies how differently investors can weigh post-quantum security potential versus execution risk, and why it helps to consider multiple perspectives before taking a view on a company's prospects. So what we're doing now is we're looking at SEALSQ in a different prospect. Hold on. Build your own SEALSQ. A great starting point for your SEALSQ research is our analysis. Okay, so what we have is this company is trying to show you SEALSQ from how they look at it. And I'm not going to click on this, but it says 1 key reward and 3 warning signs. And what they're trying to do, what it looks like to me, is they're trying to sell a service, a stock investing service. They're trying to show you how to invest. So I'm just showing here, we've gone over all the solid connections to Seals Q. Notice how this article, it's like a little hit piece, okay? This, what I'm showing you is why people get wrecked. There's a Yahoo Finance article, and it says, can Seals Q post-quantum push redefine its cybersecurity for investors? What they're doing is trying to get you to buy into their little service they have here, okay? So here they list 29 stocks that are working to make quantum computing around. What they're trying to do is grab attention and then sell you something that's unrelated, okay? Just from the information they provided, all they're looking at is here today, gone tomorrow. Here today, this is the today, tomorrow. Today, tomorrow. This is that kind of view. Did they tell you that Seals Q is integrated into national defense systems all around the world? Did they tell you that? No. Did they tell you Seals Q is working with the United States government? No. They don't say anything that's important. All they do is look at the price. What do we know about the price? Price is manipulated. What is this article? Manipulation. That's all that this dumb shit is. I'm a reasonably intelligent person. Did I see any kind of a case be made? The only case that they made is that their price, the stock price, hey, take a look around. Everything's getting fucking hammered. That's not a fucking news flash. That's like obvious, okay? So I'm shocked Yahoo Finance would put a hit piece in here, and there's no evidence. Like, I'm not persuaded at all. All they're talking about is stock price. They're saying that they make a bunch of claims. Seals Q's volatile. You know what? Every business now is volatile in this environment, isn't it? Every business is. There's businesses that have been around for 50 years. Saks Fifth Avenue, Neiman Marcus has probably been around 100 years. They just went bankrupt. How the fuck are you going to say Seals Q's volatile? Everything's volatile. My God, right? So this is just like some typical bullshit. Yahoo Finance. They don't even have the guts to show who's the author. There's no author. The article by Simply Wall Street. Nobody even has the guts to claim they wrote this, because this article is such dumb shit. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. But I just wanted to show you dumb shit that's out there, and people will read that and be like, oh, shit, Seals Q is no good. No, the thing that's no good is the people at Simply Wall Street. Those people are fucking stupid. But there's your Seals Q. It's hooked up with Ripple. We've already gone over Seals Q. I can't get into it right now. We got like 12 minutes left in the show. But there's your little Seals Q right there. Read that article there. Partnering with Hedera. Who's Hedera? Oh, just another company that's hooked up with the United States government. Hedera only has about 40 global institutions working with them to help Seals Q, but that's not a big deal to Yahoo Finance. All that matters is what is the stock market price today. That's all that matters. All right. Let's look. Okay. Let's see how deep this goes. What I want to show you here is how the adoption of cryptocurrencies is happening in the real world. I don't care about a price. That's the dumbest fucking shit. When you talk about price, it's all manipulation. It's all prices are. Why am I going to talk about manipulation? That's not even how you learn. Let's talk about how China... There's a company called Tencent. and they integrate. It's a China. So in China, basically the government owns everything. Okay. You can call it your business. It's not. When the government says something, it's theirs. So Tencent integrates MasterCard's payment biometrics for cross-border mobile commerce. Now let's take a look here. Tencent is the company in China. What I'm going to show you here is how massive this is. And so here's the deal. With all this crypto stuff that I'm showing you, brand new people, crypto prices go up when there's real world use case or a massive amount of speculation. Okay. What we do, what we do on Crypto Hawk channel is we look at fundamentals and we buy when it's super cheap and we let real world use case increase the value of the crypto. We are looking at this right here, this article right here, Tencent, one of the biggest companies in the world, okay? What I try to do is find first mover advantage. That's what I try to do on this channel. I try to show you, this goes all the way back. This Ripple China timeline that I just sent you right there. Look what we have right here. And then I'll get on to the article. We have something called Ripple China. Okay. No other channel on the internet has shown you this. No news organization even has an idea. You can take a look here. It's 2013 right there. Okay. 12 years ago, Ripple China. Wait a second. Ripple was a start. Here's where all the other channels, these other channels have no idea. Ripple came out around 2012-13, okay? How is it there's already a Ripple China? Because normally, last time I checked, Ripple calls themselves a startup, right? Okay. Well, in 2013, that would make Ripple like an official startup, meaning they've only been in business maybe a year, maybe 6 months. How do you hook up the country of China? How do you have something called Ripple China? And lastly, in June 2013, the Ripple China Trading Center was launched. Users can recharge through Alipay and TenPay. They're talking about XRP. If you look through all the rest of the pages that I have with all this, you recharge what? You recharge the XRP. This is what we got going on here. This is all China. Tencent's the company. Look right here. TenPay is the payment. It's been around. This whole Alipay, that comes from Alibaba. This shit's been around 12 years. Nobody knows this except Crypto Hulk channel. So we got TenPay right there, Ripple partner 12 years ago. Now we can go back and look at this article right here. It's dated 2026. Tencent integrates MasterCard payment biometrics for cross-border mobile commerce. All I'm going to do right here, we're going to read the headlines, and that's it. Not getting into the article. You already have this article. You can read it. What I'm trying to show you right here is this massive connection that they just released. But see, people don't see what we see. So first off, Tencent. I already showed you that goes back to TenPay from 12 years ago. Ripple partner, okay? Next, MasterCard is already a Ripple partner. Let's do a copy and a paste. Duke XRP, member for a little over 3 years, bought LES at $2.20 after I injected drugs and smoked grade A hash. Thanks, Hulk. Absolutely. That's the only way to go on this channel. So there's your evidence right there. Ripple, now this is 2025. Ripple teams up with MasterCard. I'm going to stop with that because what they did is they came out with a XRP card. Okay. So let's go back to the Chinese article. Tencent, which is a Ripple partner since 2013, integrates MasterCard, which is a Ripple partner, and they already have an XRP card. They're talking about payment biometrics. Now, that's also interesting because Ripple already had payment biometrics back in 2014. That's only 11 years ago, maybe almost 12. Not a big deal, right? Here's your evidence for that. See, like I'm showing you, all this stuff is already done. Like, I don't know why it's taking so long. I just showed you one reason. The banks don't want us to stake. But look at this right here, 2014. 21 top Bitcoin and digital currency companies endorse a what? New digital framework for what? Digital ID. Well, that's biometrics, CryptoHolic. Yeah. Team Ripple. Look at the date on here. October 2014. Well, shit, CryptoHolic. It's almost 12 years ago. 12 years ago, Ripple had a new digital framework and for digital ID. Yeah. See, Ripple's going to come out with biometric ID stuff. I want you to watch because they already helped invent this shit 12 years ago. There's a company called MIT. It's a college. You heard of Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where Gary Gensler came from and all these high-tech people. MIT Media Lab spin out. They created something called ID3. It's called Institute for Data-Driven Design, a research nonprofit. See all this stuff always ends up being like a nonprofit? Very interesting, huh? A research nonprofit founded out of the MIT Media Lab. And they worked with about 24 crypto companies, and they created new digital ID. You know, selfies, retinal scans, voice analyzation, thumbprint, palm print, all this stuff, all done for the digital world to use crypto 12 years ago, all done. This article here, if you read the Tencent one, we'll go back to the original article. This is like news, right? Tencent integrates MasterCard payment biometrics for cross-border mobile commerce. They're acting like this is news, right? So you're seeing China and some guy there holding his cell phone like he's doing a selfie or whatever. This shit is already done 12 years ago. It's been a long time. Some of you guys are bitching about why aren't we rich yet? Well, all this shit was done 12 years ago. Yeah, I would like to know what's taking so long because this shit's already done. I showed you all the evidence just now. No other channel's shown any of this. They don't have this evidence. So you guys are early, and some people bitch and complain. Yeah, man, this shit never goes up. Hey, the evidence, I've already shown for 5.5 years, all kinds of evidence. And the crypto prices are low. Okay. I mean, we have no control over that. We know where this is going. I just don't know when it's going to happen. I know one sign when David Schwartz retired. A couple of months ago, David Schwartz announced he was going to retire. I think that was a big, big signal right there. That was massive. But his work was done. Doesn't mean we're going to get rich today or tomorrow or next year. It's his work is done, according to them. So that's where we're at. We have, hold on a sec. What my job I try to do is show you early so you're prepared. I try to show you all the evidence that I find. And that's going to help you be in a good... There's people out there that don't even know what we're doing. Then you got some people out there that think they know what they're doing. They're watching scam channels, making predictions of $100 XRP by January 1st. They're watching these dumb shits out there thinking, but then when that prediction doesn't come true, it's kind of like, It's all ridiculous foolishness. Look, there's no deep dive channel like this that's going to prepare you for what's to come. This channel is not an ATM machine. This channel shows you deep dived information. And then later you can make smart choices on cryptos, whether you want to invest in them or not. Some you don't want to, some you should. But that's what my job is to help get you prepared. And so we can see the trends happening. That's what we do here. It's very interesting watching. We're watching history unfold. Pretty soon, Ripple's going to come out with a wallet again. They already came out. Ripple already came out with a wallet with Ripple Singapore back in 2013. So we know Ripple already has a wallet for everything in it. Gold, silver, stocks, commodities, everything. Ripple's going to come through with a wallet. You'll see. And digital ID and all these things. Ripple already had all this like 10, 12 years ago. So that's my prediction. We always see stuff in advance. The problem is people get discouraged, and that's your own fault, really. If you look at it the right way, you got in on something super early. Remember Bitcoin when it first came out? No, because we weren't paying attention to that. We didn't know what it was. We didn't know how valuable it would be. So here we are with Crypto Hulk. You're given an opportunity to see cryptos before they take off like Bitcoin. And what do a lot of us do? We complain, oh, this is taking so long. Oh, the price is so low. Hey, let's back it up to 2008. Are you going to bitch and complain that Bitcoin stayed at like 0.00 cents for so long? No, you're not going to complain then, are you? Because you already know it's going to happen. We already know what's going to happen with crypto. That's why you watch my program. I show you stuff in advance. You know what's going to happen. You know what cryptos are integrating with the top, the Canton network, and all these things. You know all these things, so get them and shut the fuck up. That's basically what's up, you know? And then when it happens, it does. If you're short of money or whatever, then that's not my fucking problem. When this crypto takes off, whenever that is, you won't be short of money anymore. But that's how it goes. When you're early, you just have to change how your mind is. Just appreciate you got into something before anybody else knew what was going on. You knew about Canton coin 9 months ago. Nobody else knew about any kind of Canton coin 9 months ago. 2 months ago, Canton coin hits the scene. And then Rise hits the scene. We were waiting for a Canton coin for 9 months. Actually, 7 months. It came out after 7 months later. I think I've had my Canton coin now 2 months probably. But we knew about that shit 9 months ago. And whenever it takes off, it does. I have no control over that. I'm not concerned personally. Like, I know where I'm at in crypto, so it's just a matter of waiting. Like, I feel very fortunate. It's kind of weird saying it, but I'm very fortunate I have this channel because then I know what's going on in crypto and where things are headed. I know who they're heading with. It almost makes it too fucking easy to be prepared. We already know what's coming. We already know who's doing what. Rise is going to tokenize for Canton. They're hooked up with JP Morgan and shit just now. DTC. Like, we know all this shit. It's too fucking easy. And then people tend to get bored. Oh, man, why is this not taking off? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Look, there's people who don't even know what we're talking about. And all of you are going to go down as legends, investing legends to your families, when all of a sudden you look in your hardware wallet and you got $500,000 in there. And you're like, what? You look on your phone wallet and it's showing $500,000. Some of you look on your phone wallet and you're like, oh, shit. There's like $2 million in my account. Some of you guys looking in your wallet, there's $20 million, $50 million. There's $50 million in my crypto account. Holy shit. Some of you guys that got in on Bank Social, Zebek, Telcoin, Root Network. Right now, one of my $500 people said, Root Network, He bought 1 million of them for $218. So he bought like 1 million. What happens when Root Network, see, all it has to do is hit $1, and this guy just made 1 million. He spent $218, and he's going to make 1 million. Now he's got probably 3-4 million Root, okay? If Root hits $2, see, this guy, whether it's Bank Social, Telcoin, Zebek, whatever, some of you guys got millions in each of those. When Bank Social hits $5, look, we're just talking $5. $5, all it needs to hit, right? And some of you guys, you got like 1 million Bank Socials. You got like $5 million. I'm like, whoa. It doesn't, Bank Social, none of those I talked about, none of them need to hit high numbers for you to be rich, right? See, you're early. You're early. All this stuff's cheap because you're early. We've already shown all the connections with Bank Social and the Fed Now and Ripple and all kinds of shit, Hedera, whatever it is. Like, they're all hooked up. We've already shown all the connections. Prices haven't gone up. Okay. Well, we know all the connections are there. We just need crypto laws. We need the government to green light this shit and then watch what happens. Bam. Y'all are rich. And then my show's kind of over. We got to where we got to. We all became millionaires. Crypto Hulk invested. That portion will be done. My platform, once we all hit millionaire status, like, it's over. Like, I'm almost kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'll have to change. I told you Crypto Hulk channel's evolving, right? We went from being just a regular channel. Then we started pumping and dumping stocks and, pumping and dumping cryptos. And then we got into $500 memberships where then people are calling and saying, Crypto Hulk, I've got these cryptos and what do I do? Crypto Hulk, I came up on, this other guy, this other $500 member, he was here, but they don't join every month. But he said, I'm coming back. I got like $30,000 to put in. I'm like, so what I think what he's doing is he's having like a family member give him money to invest in. And it's I don't want to talk about other people's business, but it's something kind of like that. So he's going to invest for a family member who doesn't understand one thing about all this shit. That's where we're kind of getting to now is people are realizing, hey, Bank of America just sent me a notice, something about cryptocurrencies, the CF Commodity Future Trading Commission and buying spot crypto. I thought crypto was bad, but I guess not. Bank of America is selling it. See what I'm talking about? It's like shit like that. I have a Fidelity account. Fidelity is now selling cryptocurrency. I'm like, what? I'm just letting you know where this is going. People are starting to wake up and realize stuff. We don't have full crypto laws regulations. That's why we're not rich. And it takes time for this market to mature. We just went from having all the government people telling us crypto's bad and for drug dealers. You can't have that and the next day, okay, now crypto's good. We're all rich. You see that? Like there's going to be a process here. And some of you guys need a little more patience and maturity. That's why I'm talking about this shit, to get your heads right. And I'm trying to say out loud what you're thinking. You're expecting crypto to take off. It wasn't just like a few weeks ago. They're telling us crypto's for drug dealing and all this shit. And now you're wanting the shit to take off? How? It's for drug dealing and shit, right? But now all of a sudden you got it, you bought it, and then you want to be rich. Like that's not rational. Well, what do we need? I just told you. Crypto laws, two things. Global crypto regulation. Everybody's got to be on the same page. And then number two, there's got to be staking and tokenization. And when we got those, bam, we're off to the races, right? I'll see y'all in my next broadcast. I don't know if I'm going to have a show tonight. I'll have to see on that. If I can put something together, I'll see what I can do. Let me turn the show over to the $5 group.